guys, we're back. I had to get my fug ploned in. I had to get my fug ploned in. So now that my fug is ploned in, we can get to work. I'm going to start by washing, or as my mother would say, washing my face. And this morning I'm going to use these cucumber, or kappa in Japanese, face cleaning towelettes by Burt's Bees. I absolutely adore them. But they show you how deeply red my complexion really is. And you can see how patchy and red it is and things like that. But it's always good to clean your face before you put a new one on. And welcome back, Pat. I had to get my phone plugged in because it was only at 27%. And hey, everybody. Morning. We're just getting ready, and then we're gonna read some stories out of our hoodoo books. Did one of you that's here have questions on the details of that myth book? Was that you, Pat? Can't remember who. Somebody said you needed some details. Was it Linaya? I can't remember. Hi, Ikale. So happy you're here. Yeah, it's early here, so it's gonna be. Yeah, so let me get the book so I can give you all the details, Pat. Let me grab that real quick. Sorry. No, you're fine. So, World Myths, illustrated by Francesca di Ottavi. But you want to know the UBS, all that number on the back? I don't know if you can take a screenshot or not. ISBN number. Okay, so I'm going to read it to you. Ready? ISBN is 88-88166-64-5. Okay. Hope you got that. If you didn't, you can rewind it or whatever. Hey, Lily, I need my spray out of there. The one that's a black bottle and it says sea spray or something. Small house, one bathroom. You figure it out, though, you know. King Good Lord, hi! We're just getting ready for our day and talking about witchy spiritual chat and that. Thanks, honey. Okay, so what I do when I'm getting ready to start my dreads is I take them out from wherever they were. Like, normally when I sleep, I can't sleep with them up because it hurts if I try and roll around. But if I do sleep with them up, they're way up at the top of my head so that when I move around and stuff, it doesn't hurt anything. It's just a big giant top knot type thing. Okay, so I want to show you guys some different advices on how to handle your dreads, some different tools that you can use if you have big old dreads like me that are not only long, but heavy. Oh, you're welcome, Pat. Absolutely, you're welcome. Anytime you have questions about these books, I'm here. Redman, hey! We're taking off our makeup, doing our hair, and putting makeup back on, and then we're gonna read about hoodoo and stuff. KD, sorry to say, but your hair is so ugly. I'm sorry that you don't like it. Thank you for your opinion. I like all opinions. But yeah, appreciate you being here and saying your opinion. How kind. Alright, so there's one thing that we can say about my hair is it's natural and it's not perfect, and I don't use anything that I don't use extensions and that. So if you want to get rid of things like lumps and bumps, if you don't like them, you can do palm rolling. But I'm a huge fan of them looking just the way they are. So one thing that I use is sea spray or hair mist from Lush, but I'm not a super fan of that because more research I did, more I realized that there are, thanks Redman, I know it's just always such a kick in the pants when somebody is so unhappy with themselves they have to find a stranger to be cruel to, but that's alright. These types of people are just part of the world, you know? It's all good. So my sprayer's not working, so I'm just going to gently get my hair kind of wet. Because when we wake up in the morning, there's loads of like flyaways, and it's okay, we can teach them ascension. Yeah, it's all good, man. My feelings aren't hurt by it. A lot of the times, you know, I'm not the happiest with my dreads either, but we embrace them and we make choices and we stick with them. King Godlord. It's Danny. Okay, I'll try and remember that, Danny, you bet. What is in the mist? So now I don't know what Lush puts in their mist. Let's see. What do they say they put in it? I just put either water from the sea, like I'll go get straight up seawater from the ocean, which I don't know, a lot of people have different opinions on that. But this is Celtic sea salt in water. Celtic sea salt in water. And then I usually put it in warm water so it melts the salt. But that's a good way to keep your flyaways down. And I assume you guys, I'm probably going to get more people that are like that other person. And the reason is because I put dread tutorial in the title. It was probably a bad mistake for a live. But okay, so basically I do my makeups after I get my dreads done. But for this video I'm going to do my makeup first and then do my dreads, just because I just want to do it that way today. So big thing is to get it all Celtic salt, like from Scotland. On the box, I got it at Whole Foods, and it says CELTIC, Celtic sea salt. I don't remember if it said where it was from, but I paid like $8 for it from Whole Foods. It's looks like this though. Let me show you. It's called Celtic Grey Sea Salt. Probably Scotland. Maybe so, yeah. So when I put my hair up and there's all these like flyaways and stuff, and sometimes they'll tuck in on their own, you could either embrace them and leave them down, right, and have a little bit more like wispies around your hair and stuff, or you can get a small normal person size bobby pin. And what I normally do I'll find all the flyaways in the general area that might come to happen that day, because you have to kind of plan ahead for the future of whatever work you do. It's probably going to fly away. So I pull down all the flyaways and then I try to get them all in one swoop. Maybe spray a little bit of the mist on them. And then twirl them together. And then just that way, you know, they're like tightened together and they're helping each other out. And then you can take your smaller bobby pin and put them in that way, and then you can collect this one too if you wish. But if you're annoyed by the way they come together, then you could use 2 pins. It's whatever, really, guys. And then I keep mine on partial dreads, right? What that means is I don't tighten them all the way up to the scalp, so all this underneath part is hair that just grows like hair. Why do I do that? Well, for a couple of reasons. It helps me dye my hair. Do you twist your regrowth? No. No, I'm going to be doing partials because I like the look of it, and when I dye my hair, it doesn't get stuck in the dreads. So, and then I try and use a blonde bobby pin which looks a lot better and it hides a lot better after I have grow outs, but I just bleached my hair. So there's that. Just some advice on little flyaways and stuff. But if you're going to be doing some major pinning with your dreads, or if you want to avoid using hair ties and you just want to use pins for your dreads, you're going to want to get some of these, like, here's a regular bobby pin, here's these crazy blonde dread bobby pins. And there's quite a difference. These are super strong. They'll hold more hair, and they just seem to really get around and hug those dreadlocks and still stay in. And again, you guys, the part these are bent for your head, that's all nice and everything, but the part of the bobby pin you're actually supposed to have next to your head is the rigid part. That doesn't work with these, but it does work with these. So yeah. Try wrapping your hair with a silk scarf at night. Ooh, that's a great idea, because then it would be up and it wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I like that idea. Okay, I don't know, how do you guys want to do it? We can try and do it anyway, really. I won't lie, I'm a little thrown off from earlier, but no, they never bleed. I mean, once I got one caught in something and then it like pulled really, really hard and it was near the front of my scalp. So I do believe that bled a little bit, where like some of the hairs had ripped from my head, but other than that, no. And I think what had happened was I had a button on the end of my coat and I rubbed it on my hair and the button got caught in the loose part, right? And then it went and got stuck, and then it just went whack because I wasn't expecting it and I just put my arm back. So that could certainly happen. If you guys are going to do like a half up, half down type of thing, because dreads will just be in your face all of the time, even if you part them severely sideways, like I have mine a lot of the time, you're still going to have one side that's really in your hair. Putting them behind your ear, it looks kind of funny to me, so I like to do the half up, half down, with maybe like a fun bun on top. You found the book. Awesome. And again, that book was a gift to me for some art that I was gonna, because I cut up art and decoupage a lot and everything, and it was gonna be a gift. But I didn't want to cut it up. I'm like, no, this has to be a part of my witchcraft books, because it absolutely has to do with everything that we talk about all the time. Now, if you twist down, it's gonna give you like this, to me, it looks like a more sad downward look. Now, if you twist up, it gives you more of like a 40s pinup type look, coming up like this and more volume, whereas the other one was dragging us down. Now, when we push up more, you can get like a pompadour type thing in the front. It's small, but it can be there, right? So with these partial dreads, where you don't knot them all the way up to the scalp, you're gonna get a lot more movement if you want to do things with like faux bangs or little poofs or pompadours. So twisting like that will get that effect, okay? And then kind of the hardest thing is like not having another hand to work with. You think it shows off the Pleiadian bloodline? Yeah, did everybody see the Skype stuff I sent you with that blood work and everything? That was pretty cool. And that video by that woman, highly, highly, highly respect what she has to say, and her, and I think that it's, the reason I sent it to you is because it's the best documentary that I can think of, or best video to explain what we're always talking about. Okay, so I've just got this kind of pinned up for now, and it might even look cool, I don't know. I'll show it to you guys. Normally I have a mirror. Let me go get my mirror. Is it where it belongs? Let's see. It is! You okay, Lil? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that's super fun, actually. I think we might keep that one. I like the way it looks in the back. So here's the hard part, is getting the other side to look like it or to go with it. So I really like the way that that looks. Look, Lily. Does that look cool? It's nice to have a second opinion either from your daughter or from your friends. Yeah, he means Pleiadian. That's what he meant. No, I don't watch the videos. I can see most of them already. Spirit guides say, perfect. Perfect. Oh no! I spelled Pleiadian wrong all the time, and I still do sometimes. If you plant them wet and then unravel when you dry, will you get ringlets? Sometimes I will do I'll get them wet with this salt spray, right? Just damp, not wet, because of course you had dreads like Kale, you know they will rot if you don't let them dry. If I get them damp with that sea spray and I do super tight, I should do this for you guys before bed tonight actually, super tight single dread braids all the way down, and then I take 4 or 5 of them and then I put a big tie at the bottom. Okay, listen. You get the coolest hair. Actually, let's do that. Let's just braid it all now with... Okay, well this is just one way you can do like a cool dread thing. You can even add these little braids into your dreads, just one, you know, bring it around, tie it there. Maybe we just bring 3 dreads or 3 braids and we finish off our hairdo like that. But let's do that one that we've been talking about with the getting the crimping out of your dreads. Okay, see, look. Do 3 braids, pull them over that, and then you'll end up with this little hairdo. What does it look like? Oh yeah, see? That'll be fun. Alright, now, I'm going to show you guys how to do... I wish you were here to play with my dreads too. That would be so much fun. There's nothing that's reminds me more of childhood stuff than doing hair with your friends or your mom, or my grandpa used to let me do his hair for him. It was a lot of fun. How can we bring witchcraft into this? I can tell you exactly how. Before we put the salt in the water, and this salt has been blessed in many moonlights along with my other things, hold some intention into it. Salt. I need you to, let's think of a topic. Keep negativity away from us. Salt is great for that. We're all experiencers here as well. Are we all experiences here as well? Most of the people here are Red Man. But, I mean, I put Dread Tutorial in the title, so, but the people that are talking are. Let me check all that's here. Yeah. Experiencers, that's a good word. So bless your salt and ask it to do this special purpose. Hold your intention over. Get some more salt into the water. Shake it up. And as you shake it, put your intention into there. This salt is going to help style my magical hair. However, it is also going to help draw positive people toward me and push negative people away from me. So mote it be. If I do spirit work, this salt will also help keep positive spirits with me and negative spirits away from me. So mote it be. Whatever you guys want to put intention-wise into this, absolutely do it that way. Now, when I do my dreads and I do them like this, all tight and braided, I'll style them with the braids in, and then I'll leave it in for like 1 day or 12 hours, and then I'll take it out. And the salt water, it acts as a natural hairspray. It's the most natural hairspray I can come up with, and super great for that kind of stuff. So we're just going to start getting it wet and doing the braids. Hi, Tangerine! Okay, so we've put some enchantment on that salt that's in the water, and now we're going to ask it to do its job. Let me get some water. I need a little bowl. Okay, so I've got one of my magical bowls that Alex made me, and just going to add some salt to that water because my sprayer's broken, and just enchant that. Okay, so you guys, I have one wet hand and I have one hand that I can chat with, so if you guys want to talk about some stuff while I'm doing this, I will try and engage in the conversation as well. I do try and grab 3 dreads that are close together, because if you take 3 from all places, it can really pull on your hair. And don't get them too wet, because if you guys get them too wet and then you get them really tight, they won't dry out. Even though the salt certainly will help it dry. So I'm doing these as tight as I can, as close to my scalp as I can. And I'm braiding my dreads individually. I have about 66 dreads right now, I do believe. We'll know at the end of this though. Dee Dee, that is so neat. You dread your own hair, that's awesome. Yes, I dread it, I take care of it, I started it, and you know, it's actually hard to find somebody who will keep it up. Even in a big city that I'm in. Yeah, and that's kind of a long story on its own, but I'm glad I do my own maintenance. Okay, so all the way to the bottom, because if you don't go all the way to the bottom, you'll end up with these long pieces at the bottom, which is fine. You're going to get a few of those. See? All the way to the bottom. Now, if you have those little tiny rubber bands that are like elastic, those are great for doing each one, but I don't. So I'm just going to tie it super. You're still doing you're listening and working on your books of shadows. Nice! If you guys haven't checked out Tangerine's channel, go now and sign up with her now, because she's creating something amazing as always, but I just can't explain how amazing this book she's doing. And she's showing us all how to do it. And I don't know, Tangerine, are you going to be selling those in one way or another? Like using an avenue for sales? Or I know she gave them to some of her closest friends, and that's just the best and so beautiful, but a lot of people were wondering if she is going to be selling those. So bringing these again as tight to my scalp as I can, so I can get that big volume. And that also helps me separate my dreads when I go tight to the scalp like that. Maybe at some point, but you'd have to charge a lot. Exactly. No, I mean, I'm talking about $250 or $175 a book, you know. These items that we create that take so many hours, so much time, so much into it, like my doctor bags and stuff, they're not small ticket items, you know. But you know when you get it in your hands and you understand where all this money went, you know, it's irreplaceable, absolutely divine. Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you leave so many of the pages blank, but I love that you put pictures in there for inspiration, and I'm just have been having so much fun watching you do that. So dreading these dreads with just a little bit of moisture, dread by dread, all the way to the bottom. I'm so glad we talked about curling your dreads. I've tried 100 different ways to put them on hot rollers, and it just will not work. It seems to be tightness and time, and salt is what works rather than heat. Okay, so again, you're welcome, Tangerine. I give credit where credit is due, you know? Okay, so coming down, and you can see they get pretty darn tight. So then, since I don't have that little band, I just now tie these 2 together, and then I just keep tying the small dread ends together until I run out. So that'll be a good chance for me to just sit here and chat with you guys. Water is still good for dreads and large. Water is also good for dreads and a large roller. Oh, yeah? Because I have hot rollers, and I've tried a few times, I just haven't been able to get them to stay for any period of time. Here's 3. There's 3. But yeah, I would love to be able to get him to do a spiral. Yeah, Thomas, we're also excited for Mr. Badger's video. Thomas the Badger. And Thomas, we've had loads of Skype time. You do, you're, a lot about you reminds me of a badger, not just, your shape or that you have some face hair or your attitude. It's more than that. It's like your cleverness and your style and the way about you and your mannerisms and there's a lot of stuff, but like when you said badger, I was just like, that's so spot on. Like that, there just couldn't get really much better description for you, dear. Dear Badger. Hey Lily, do you remember watching that cartoon A Wind in the Willows with Grandma when you were little? Like she made us watch it?
No.
Oh, really? The one with the frog and he had to go to court. And yeah, right?
That so much. It made me so uncomfortable.
Come in, wait. Okay, come in here really quick.
Oh my god.
We're gonna talk about The Wind in the Willows really quick.
Wait, hold on.
And Thomas, you sent me 2 cartoons, but the one me and Lily are talking about is different than the one you sent us. Okay. Lily's gonna pull it up. It's called The Wind in the Willows. Wind in the Willows. And it was a cartoon, it's the 80s cartoon. And when you find the one that we used to watch with Peggy, let me know.
The moles, Chris?
Yeah, there's mole. Yeah, but it was called The Wind in the Willows.
I know.
And there was moles, there was like all different kinds of stuff in there. Is this it?
I don't.
It was an animated version. There's so many versions.
What?
You gotta find the one.
There's the moles.
No, that's it.
This? What, this?
This is it. Hold on, let me make sure. I'm pretty sure this is it. Yeah, it says Australia. Burbank Films Australia presents. Oh, it's the one from Burbank Films Australia. You can't hold it up or I'll lose my video. Pause it though. Pause it when it gets to the picture of the actual frog. Like, so I can show them which one it is. Yeah, right, Pat? Love The Wind in the Willows. Your daughter is so pretty, Jen. Ikel said you're so pretty. She said thank you. Joyce, hi.
Oh, there's the mole. Oh, I hate this.
Yeah, pause it. Here's one picture from the movie.
Copyrighted.
But that's the animation we're looking for. And what year is that one? No, just look in the YouTube description.
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say?
No.
Bummer. You sure it doesn't say?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
What, we were looking for the
So
frog?
anyway, it's like, no, I wanted you to tell about
The frog, wait.
why you think it's scary. Oh, hold up the frog real quick, just at a flange.
Whoa.
That's enough.
Okay.
So, the frog is just this guy who, it's kind of like the Fool card. Like, he's on this journey, he's on the start of a journey, but he's, halfway through his life, and he just doesn't get it, I read it fine. I can relate. Oh, Pat's gonna see if she can find a date for us, Lily. So, Lily, tell us why you think it's
Just some things I find really uncomfortable.
like what? And what do you mean by uncomfortable? Do you mean
Like
scary or
No, it just makes me like uncomfortable and like sad.
sad and uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Is that difference between a love scene in a movie and that feeling, or is it the same?
No, it's not like that.
Oh.
It's like just.
How would you describe a love scene in a movie that makes you uncomfortable? Like, you just want to leave the room?
Fine, I don't care.
Well, I'm
But,
just
like,
saying, when I was a kid, I would be, like, uncomfortable from a scary movie or uncomfortable from a love story. And or if somebody embarrassed themselves, like they sang or they danced and it was horrible.
Dawson's Creek.
That's a whole different kind of uncomfortable where you're like...
1988.
1988. That sounds about right, because I would have been like 6. Yeah, and just re-watching it. So yeah, that 1988 Thomas, that's the one that I watched as a kid, and then so did Lily, because Peggy had it on VHS probably. But Peggy used to also sit Lily down with Mr. Rogers, which I really
love
appreciate.
that.
Yeah, you'll love my Dollhouse Madness because I'm making a land of make-believe. And it, like, has morals to the story and stuff.
Okay.
And they improv, it's like, have you seen Whose Line Is It Anyway, where they say, like, The audience will give them 2 words and then they act out a scene.
No, but
It's on Hulu. Watch a little bit of Whose Line Is It Anyway? The audience says a couple things and then the actors, they just go with it. That's called improv. So I'm telling them for plots from my dollhouse and then I'm making the land of make-believe. It's so cool. So anyway, that movie is scary to you or what?
Is she allowed to post the link?
Oh yes, please post the link if you can. Absolutely, Heather. Thank you so much. So yeah, it's just scary and weird and uncomfortable and like,
No, it's not scary. It's just some things that remind me of other things, like other times, and like it makes me uncomfortable.
like other times in your life or the world?
Yeah.
Oh, what other time?
I don't know. Like watching it, just I don't know, but
That's okay.
this utter like discomfort
Utter discomfort. That's not fun.
is not. But like Fraggle Rock, like I love that, and I don't feel.
I thought you didn't like it.
No.
You did when you were little.
Well, yeah, but it's not like the Willow, whatever.
The Wind in the Willow.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate it.
A frog in court.
Yeah,
would
a
be
frog in
unsettling.
court would be unsettling,
But
Heather.
it's not the circumstances of the characters.
Is it the way they speak and they're like...
No, it's not that.
Is it the fact that there's like frogs in court, period?
No,
Oh.
it's so hard to explain. I cannot explain.
Okay, well, if you think of how to explain it, surely
Okay.
let us know. Because sometimes those things pop in your head later. You're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but I agree. There's just some parts about it that are like weird and off-putting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going dread by dread, one by one. Now we've got this big clump. 3, 6, 9, 12 done. Whole rest of the head to go. But when the bread's done, I'm gonna put it into a beautiful style with the braids. It's gonna stay there for half the day, and then I'll open it up for you, and you'll see what it looks like. Kind of reminds you of Frogger. Court would freak you out. Yeah, I'd be a little freaked if there was a bunch in there too. Yeah, Toad seems to be the fool, you know, on this journey, and he just doesn't get it. I love that the Toad's upper class as well. He has all this money, and then his rowdy middle class, and Mola is the lower class, but they all get along with Badger, and Badger seems classless and has early authority through experience. That's a great way of explaining that, Thomas. Oh, wait, Tangerine says, when I first saw Watership down from the 70s, it freaked you out, and now it's your favorite movie, and the remake is on Netflix. That's cool, Tangerine. Has everyone here visited the Hollow Earth? I've not. What do you mean? What is the Hollow Earth? Is it a channel? I want to know about it. Okay, let's do these ones. So just that salt water, especially kind of at the base. Oh, it's a book. Okay. Wait, Tangerine, you have a twin flame? Who's your twin flame? I want to know. Tangerine. You're so lost, Dangerous Eyes, so am I. That's okay, we'll just hang out here. Dangerous Eyes, how are you? Your twin flame is a pain in the butt sometimes. I haven't met him in person yet, only in dreams. He's from the Hollow Earth. Oh, wow! That's awesome. That's so cool. So yeah, just doing a backwards braid. Kitty behind me? Oh yeah, Zinga. How can you see her? There she is. Hi, Zinga. Like you said earlier, mind swipe. Oh, okay, gotcha, dude. Gotcha. Oh, Hollow Earth is related to Vril and the Boer Lightning and Helena Blavatsky and the Conspiracy Theory. You guys remember I got that new Vril book? I have it in the living room. I'll get it and show it to you since we're talking about it. Because I want to say some things. I want to say some things about it. It's currently hiding, but interesting because in the time they put out the book, they had to write it as fiction because it was the 40s, and they didn't think, I guess, that people would buy it if it was written as a factual novel. Who's JS, Redman? Dangerous eyes, crystals on my desk in your sleep. Nice. Okay, so just getting all of these into one thing here, trying to get my whole head braided, and then we're going to style it, keep it that way, and when we undo it, it will be... Oh, JS means just saying. Sorry, I'm old. Okay, so... Don't start from one side and then start from the other side and get stuck in the middle with one up here and one up here and one up there. Like, that never works. So just start from one side and go that way is my best suggestion if you do this. And the reason why I don't trust the one from Lush anymore is just because it has actual soaps in it. And it's not just salt and water like the lady told me it was, because I read online you can get these things called DSMS sheets or something, and it tells you what's exactly in everything. So, don't always trust the salespeople at Lush. Tangerine, is there another somewhere? Tangerine knows a lot about other places because she's not originally from here. That's a good idea, to meet your guide in your safe personal space, like meditation or sleep, and ask out loud. Make sure you guys are speaking to your guides out loud. That's something that works for me. And you can ask Lily. I'm running around this house all the time. Spirit guides, please show me. Please help me find this right now. You know, spirit guides, and I say thank you out loud. Do my gratitudes out loud. Don't really give a squat who's listening, because guess what? The only person I need to listen is listening, and that's my spirit guides. Pat says I got about 20 minutes and you'll be off here to play with the classic car. What? What kind of car? I love cars. I don't drive anymore, but I love cars. Love cars. Yes, Roadman, and everything you've seen in the movies, like Journey to the Center of the Earth, are bang on because of the true accounts in the book. You guys, eyed wide shut. The craziest things on Earth you would never believe because they sound so crazy. But one day they're going to be like, we told you. And don't you think it's funny, and I'm just saying, well, no, forget it. Forget it. 1952 Pontiac Chieftain. Are we connected on Skype, Pat? If so, I would love to see pictures of that. That sounds amazing. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's book of Journey to the Center of the Earth is all based on all real accounts. Let me say this. If you guys haven't seen the documentary called They Live, it's by John Carpenter, and it's starring Rowdy Piper from the 80s, the wrestler from the 80s. It's a fiction movie, but it's a documentary. It's called They Live, and it's on Amazon Prime, and you can purchase it. I don't think it's more than $10 or $12. Just get it in SD. And you guys, there are loads of scientists that after they retired said, or NASA employees that after they retired said, or on their deathbed said, that movie is absolute fact. I see that it's exactly what David Icke is talking about, but in different wordage. David Icke or David Icke, you guys know that I appreciate what he has to say and believe in it. Now, They Live by John Carpenter. Shall I say the plot of the movie? Because the plot of the movie is pretty interesting. And it's an older movie. It's like mid-80s, so... Oh, it's $3.99 to watch on YouTube. Thank you, Heather. And also, you guys, I believe if you buy a movie on YouTube, you get to keep it. So $3.99. So Tangerine says, yes, girl, saw it years ago. And then Redman says, I will, just been afraid to see it. And he has glasses on. Redman, you'll see how your little emoji there makes a lot of sense when you watch the movie. Shall I say the plot, you guys? Thomas says there's also several Edgar Rice Burroughs books about visiting Hollow Earth as well. And he did Tarzan and John Carter and Mars, and there's also the first Michael Moore book about Jerry Cornelius about it. No fear, dear. Just looking for something to watch later. Okay, let me tell you guys the plot. Now, I don't know how to do plots well without spoilers, but I'm really going to try. And yeah, it's John Carpenter. But none of us here can spell or type well, Layla, so I'm not picking on you, I'm just telling you. If someone was going to look up, it's a John Carpenter movie. Jen, I'm talking about The Real Place, Jen. Oh, what do you mean? Redman, hold on a minute. Just afraid to see it. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, Redman. But anyway, the movie has to do with a pair of sunglasses. Oh, there's a movie contra. Well, I'm just going to be quiet. You guys talk about what you're talking about, because obviously we're talking about two different things, so I'll let you guys go. Dangerous eyes! You would look cool with dreads. I wish I could show you guys how I made them. I should have made a video when I made them. You add me on Skype by making a Skype and then just searching Jenn the Taxidermy Witch. That's how you do it. I'll tell the plot as soon as you guys are done talking about the other movie because I don't want to interrupt it. So finish talking about that and then I'll go ahead. But the movies are too similar to talk about at the same time. I'm not upset with anybody. I'm just going to let you guys finish talking about that movie and we'll move on. Don't be silly. Me upset? Redman, don't apologize here. That's not even what I was talking about. I just wanted to be on the one movie at a time, that's all. But Edgar Rice Burroughs also did a load of stuff that involved fine Atlantean ruins and a lot of later... Awesome! Well, I'll have to check some of those out for sure, because that stuff is very interesting and exciting. Yay, you found me, Pat! Okay, well, after this, I will accept your request, and then we'll be friends on Skype, and you'll get all the stuff I've been talking about. Yeah, and I definitely want to check out the movie that you guys are talking about. So if Thomas would send it to me, that would be amazing. Okay, so, wait, Dangerous Eyes. I bought a new friend, Jen. You did? What do you mean you bought a new friend? Like you have a new pet? Oh, what? For me? You bought a new friend for me? That's so cool. Who brought you? I don't get it. Retired Warrior Pagan here. Hi, Rendell's comic book channel. How are you? I actually make art out of comic books. I get vintage Wolverine comic books from like 1984, and then I put them on my mannequin busts, and I call it Tits and Comics. And they sell really well at those Comic-Con festivals. But I think that it's a really fun piece of art. Yes, welcome, Rendell. Let me get another hair tie. Yeah, Rendell is a new friend. I haven't seen him. You ruined scared books? Question mark? What do you mean? What do you mean, Randall? Oh, sacred books. I didn't ruin them. No, I would never ruin them. I made them into art so that people could see them all of the time. I don't feel like I ruined them. I feel like I made them into something awesome so that people can see them all the time instead of keeping them in their cupboards and not looking at the amazingness of them. Oh, I see. Okay. I gotcha. We're all good here. Sorry, I'm doing a lot at one time. Yeah. He's a comic book snob. That's okay. I'm a mannequin snob, so we're all good. We're snobby about certain things. It just makes us who we are. As long as we're nice and loving to one another, we're all set. Dangerous Eyes sent you! That's rad, because Dangerous Eyes told me that she was sending over some fun friends. Thank you, Dangerous Eyes. Oh, he's a tea snob? Awesome! What is your favorite kind of tea? And we have been making magical teas on the channel for magical intentions. We made one for joy, and it tasted amazing. We made one for monies, and it tasted even better. Actually ended up tasting like ribbon candy. Jen, how do you arms not get tired from doing the hair? Well, I don't know, because when I actually did the dreading, I felt like my arms were going to fall off. It took 3 whole weekends, and my fingers were blistered and bloody. You're a comic book collector. That's awesome. Oh no, it's all good. You're welcome here. Oh, and Dangerous Eyes, you're saying you're the tea snob. Jasmine is your favorite. Okay, we grow jasmine here. We grow 2 different types. I love putting fresh jasmine in tea because it floats on the top of the cup. And when you drink it, you can smell it because it comes up to your nose. Oh, it's my favorite thing. So what is your favorite kind of comic book then, Randall? I'd love to hear. And thank you. Oh yeah, guys, come in and out as you want. That's fine. Witchy CCQ93, hi. We're having a chat while we're doing a dread tutorial. You okay, hon? Did it spill?
No, I almost fell.
You almost fell?
Yeah.
Are you gonna mic it?
Maybe.
Enjoy
Sorry.
You love Wolverine, the best character ever? That's so cool that I just had started talking about Wolverine then. Yeah, Wolverine's awesome. What's Wolverine's real name again? Can you guys remind me of what Wolverine's real name is? Logan, that's right. Logan. Thanks. James Howlett? I thought it was Logan. Rendell, what is... Is it James Howlett or Logan? And I was talking about the character in the comic book. Like, what do they call his? Oh, never mind. So confused. Way too many topics. Okay, both. Got it. Okay. His real name is James Howlett. He took the name Logan in honor of his real father. That was the explanation I needed. Thank you. So, James Howlett's his real name. Does anyone call him that, or does everyone just call him Logan? Yeah, names and dates, bad. And I'm a waitress, so that's really sucky because we have so many regular customers. I can remember what they eat and drink all day long, but their first name is really hard for me. And YouTube first names are even harder for me because you guys have nicknames, you have second nicknames, and then your real name sometimes you share with me, and I'm like, I have a hard enough trouble remembering Dangerous Eyes Tarot or whatever, and I'm just using your name as, because it was on the top of my head, but like, I try really hard not to mess up people's names. So Pat, thank you so much for adding your name in the little chat bar there. You're a hygienist and you can remember people by teeth and face. See? And you'll remember like the name of the tooth that's messed up but not their name. Like, it's kind of interesting how that happens, huh? 1, 2, 3. Yep. So when people walk in, I'm like, eat your roll spicy tuna number 10 and chicken yakisoba. It's not Bill and Jane, it's that. And that's what flies through my head. It's not their first name. So just trying to keep those out of the way with a little top side bun there. Read his origins arc. We'll see why you took Logan name. Thank you, Rendell. I appreciate that because Wolverine is my favorite comic. That's why I started doing those busts in Wolverine. And they were actually comics that I used to read as a little girl. They're my brother's comics I used to read as a little girl. So my youthful energy is a part of them. I believe that makes them magical as well. You know. Those energies that are attached are both childlike, both curious, so many innocent things attached to it that are lovely. Did Tank Girl, did they cross those over? My son's middle name is Xavier, named after... That's so cool you named your kid Xavier after... that, if you love Wolverine, you should see my Wolverine Volume 1. Rendell, can we connect on Skype? Because I would really love to share some pictures with you of maybe some of my older mannequin. Like, I want to share... I sold the last Wolverine, the Tits and Comics. I sold it, but I want to send you a picture of it just to see what you think of it. So let's please connect on Skype, and you can find me there at Jenn the Taxidermy Witch. It's really the only way I communicate besides this, but if you're willing, I would love to. What do you mean Calvin and Hobbes, Heather Foley? Alright, so we're pretty close to being done, and I'm not going to walk around all day with these, so I'm actually going to make it into a beautiful hairstyle when we get there. But remember, we're using water, but we're not using a ton, we're just using a little bit. Raven, hello! How are you? Welcome. Cherry Chapstick. Yep, nope, no social medias, just this, guys, so yeah. Thank you, Cherry Chopstick. Appreciate it. Bye, Pat. Okay, Rendell, just Skype. That's all, hon. Anyway, on to the next topic. Thanks, guys, for helping me. Yeah, no Facebook at all. No Instagram at all. Nothing. Just this and Skype. Okay, so Mm. I would leave these in for at least 12 hours, if not like overnight or a day. But once we get it going, it's going to look really pretty. So you won't feel bad about keeping it in that long. And then you can wear it for 2 days. The crimps will stay in during the night. Is Bee here? Bee Young? Did I miss her? And Dangerous, hi! Boxy's Outdoor Adventures. Hello everyone, I have a few minutes to give a like and show some time. Well, thank you for joining. I really appreciate the support, Boxy's Outdoor Adventures. Most of us here have channels, so you're more than welcome to go give a hug and ring the bell, and we'll all try and avoid saying the S word. Nobody did, don't worry about it. Jen, do I ever color the tips like bright purple? And I wish that I could, but and I love coloring my hair. Before I had dreads, but now that I have dreads, I'm terrified I won't be able to get the color out, especially since they're platinum. But since mine are all real now and I don't have any extensions tied in anymore, I could comb out the ends of these and dip the ends and dye them colors. And I've thought about that a lot, and I think once I get to Texas I might think about doing that, but until the move, probably just wait till I'm settled down. But I think that you could really do some helpful chakra work with that. You could add it, you could use color in your hair in a lot of different ways, right? Having it be purple or gold to attach to the crown chakra, that would be an amazing thing to do. I've thought about that a lot, but I remember when I was little, my dad said if I ever dyed my hair purple, got a mohawk, or didn't graduate high school, that he would beat my butt. And it was like, why purple though? And why a mohawk? And I understand the high school, but yeah, that's what he always said. It was just those 3 things, Lily. And so I had this thing in my head, okay, no purple hair ever. Have to graduate high school, and no mohawk. So Dangerous Size looks like I will to dust off your Skype. If you want to, hon, it's an option. Okay, my teaching is know yourself 200%. All your demons, all your angels, love and light, always concur. All your fears, let them go. Positive energy is always inside. So mote it be. Yeah. Oh, so pretty. I know. What the heck are you doing? Perception is absolutely everything. You're completely right. Colorful ribbons would look beautiful, wouldn't they? I could do teeny tiny ribbons on all the ends of them. That would be super fun. Great ideas, you guys. Yeah, my hair is platinum gray. That's okay. I enjoy... Oh, love, light, and peace forever. Hi! How are you? Welcome. Maypole hair? Totally. Maple hair would be amazing. Do you guys know what a maypole is? If not, I can go grab ours. It's hard to see what I'm doing. Like I say, you want to try and get 3 dreads that are close together so it doesn't pull all over. And then when you get to the part where you have the wispies, really try and twist those in, you guys, because with this hairstyle you're going to want it to look as tight as possible, and as you know, because we don't use hairspray in dreads. We use this hairspray that we make out of salt and water. Salt and moon water, not well water. I mean, not tap water. You definitely want to use your well water, your rainwater, your precious waters. I should ask a better question. Does anybody not know what a maypole is? If you don't know, I could show you a picture, show you an actual one that we have right here in the house. There is some stuff I want to talk to you about being Pleiadian. So Dangerous, you need to hook up with me on Skype for sure. Yeah, definitely, because I just sent out a bunch of information about Rh negative blood and just a bunch of really awesome stuff. The Emerald Tablets, Thoth, how it all applies, and this amazingly brilliant YouTube video from a girl who explains it really well. Light, love, life, yoga, if anybody wants to join Dangerous on Insta. Do you get messages of light language? Okay, so as you can see, we're down to the end, and there's like 2 long pieces hanging out. That's what I'm saying. Try and find your dreads that are as even as possible, or else they're not, you know, you're going to have some straight bits. But just remember, like, it just always happens, no matter how hard you try. So don't get too frustrated if that happens. We're almost done now, you guys. We're getting there. Oh no! See, here's a problem. I forgot one. Shit. Ugh! Now I'm gonna have to make it go connect with one of these crazies. Oh well. Just part of it. Takes time. Okay, great. And when I'm done with Skype Dangerous Eyes, I will add you back and accept it, and we will be chatting and sending pictures and stuff. I think it's great because, you know, you don't just have to video chat there. Granted, you know, half the people there I've not video chatted with because people are too shy to video chat. That's fine with me. I still would love to take the time to get to know y'all because you guys know me so well, and it would be nice to know you guys too. Boy. Yes. We'll message each other after the live. That sounds good. So see this one, I have to like loop up here and connect into these. And try and get your flyaways in there, twisted in. Because they'll just crimp back up. You have an empty house now, going to lay down for a nap, closing the store tonight. Ooh, what's your store again, Shauna? I forget. And congratulations on your hanging out night chilling. Okay, cool. Yeah, Thomas is on there too. I'm connected with Thomas there. Love you, Thomas. Thomas, every time I picture you in my mind's eye, like in meditation, you're always wearing that big mink coat of mine. Always. And you're always so warm. You work at a store called Dollar General. Awesome! I love dollar stores. If it's a dollar store, I don't know if it is. Dangerous. I think I lost my way slightly with the Pleiadian path after a breakup, though I do need to fill my way again, though. Interesting, Thomas. Yep, Thomas is on the Skype. We're making Skype a new thing. We're bringing it back. You can do so much there. Yeah, no, Boxy's Outdoor Adventures, thanks so much, and thank you for spending the time and supporting. Super appreciate it, and we all look forward to networking with you as well. Absolutely. It's bad on the check sometimes. Yeah. Yep, I hear that. When I worked at Goodwill, I had to stop working there because, you know, I didn't have much pay. I will have a wonderful day. Thank you, Boxy. You know, my paychecks all ended up going back to the store. Okay. You will never guess this. I'm gonna end, I have exactly 12 dreads left. So then we'll count the braids and then we'll know how many dreads we've got. I did not know that. I did not know that, Randall. Sun sessions. You get paid every Friday. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I was in so much trouble when I worked at the thrift store. It was like, you know, my husband would be like, did you bring home a paycheck? Or this was Lily's dad. Did you bring home a paycheck or did you just bring home a bag of thrift stuff? And I'm like, oh, a little bit of both. You know, you gotta be honest, or else sad things happen. Right, Lily? Honesty is the best policy, even though it's hard. Because people always end up finding out somehow. So these ones that have wispies up here, I really do a good twist on them. See how wispy they are? See, look how much partial they are? This is hair, this is my dreads. So when I started my dreads, they were this short, and they just stuck out of my head like this forever. Remember, Lily, when where are you, Lily? Oh, never mind. Yeah, my dreads were so short at first, and they just ding before they laid down. So really getting a good twist on that, so that the flyaways stay in. And it's hard with only 10 fingers, but you make it work. Ah! What is it like that one? Ha! I don't think you're talking to me, Rendell. I was just laughing about the woman in Liar Liar comment. Again, not too much water, you guys, because you really don't want your dreads to get, you just want to get that salt water on there so it acts as a type of natural hairspray, if you will. And the tighter that you go, the longer they'll stay in and the more crimped out they'll be. Alright, enjoy your nap, darling. Yes, see you soon, Shauna. It was lovely having you here. And when you come back, you'll probably see my hair as the finished product, yeah? This was a bad decision with these three because I'm going to end up with one that's done and now 2 giant pieces, okay? So this will be a good example of this bad decision. So the rest I'm just going to twist the hell out of and probably braid into something else, I don't know. Hopefully it'll work. One turned out really weird, but... And it's a front one, of course, so it'll look nice and weird. But anyway. Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day to you guys, that's right. Does anybody know the actual story of St. Patrick's Day? I don't know it, but I know the Valentine's Day one, and it's crazy. Had to create a new Skype. I couldn't remember your old one. I had to do that one day. Skype's easy, though. If I can figure it out, you guys can. I'm bad with technology, but I got it rolling, and it's a good one. And the other place that I know a lot of people like, and Tangerine has, is Hangouts. And I believe you can do Hangouts on air when we all decide to do these like collabs with our channels and stuff. You can do Hangouts on air. You know, so that's exciting. There's just so much exciting stuff. And Mercury retrograde, we've only got a week left. I know, right? Love, light, and peace forever. It's a rad name. You did a collab with Lindsay V with Hangouts? That's awesome, Dangerous Eyes. I gotta figure out how to do it. Me and Zale have been meaning to figure that out, but this Mercury retrograde gets in the way every single time. Yeah, Shauna's awesome possum. Awesome possum. Has anybody seen Be Young? Yeah, I know, Tangerine. I really want to collab with you. And Thomas, once he gets his Mercury in Gatorade. It's totally in Gatorade. Mercury is in Gatorade at the moment. And there's nothing anybody can do to stop it. It's Gatorade! Bye! Okay, so these two ended, and then, you know, there's a bit of a long bit. It's just going to be at the bottom of the crimped out. You're going to have some long bits. Sometimes that annoys me, other times I'm just like, it's fine. You know, what are you going to do? Shoot. Oh my gosh, I completely left one out. Oh, Lord. So, we're really close to being done. I think we have three breads left to make. 3 breads left to make in my rare. Retrograde. Retrograde. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I did the maths wrong. So I'm gonna have to do a braid with 4 dreads, and then I've got this teeny one out the back, but nobody will be able to see that. So let's see if I can make a braid with 4 dreads. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Okay. What? 1, 2, 4, 5. Why does this happen? So I have 5 up here and 2 back here. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll make these 2 into a braid with one of the ones that are already braided, okay? So, like this. Oh, not that one. It does get difficult, you guys, and I'm sorry I can't answer all your questions. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. We're not going to use that. Alright, so I'm going to take this braid and then get these wet and then just use the already braid as basically as a, you know, holding piece for the other dreads. So that's something you can do. This is something that anybody can do. You certainly don't need dreads to do this. You can have regular hair and put it in sections and do it like this and wake up in the morning and have it to be dry, or at least 24 hours, have it to be dry, and then let it out. But it's going to be much easier, and you guys could just leave it in braids if you had all those little tiny ones, unlike what I've got. And instead of making a braid with 5, I'm going to make one with 3, and then take this one and make a braid out of it, like I did the back one. Okay, again, with these ones in the front that are super wispy, you're going to want to twist those together to get the wispies connected in. I use my mouth as a holder a lot. This is why I like to do my makeup last usually. And this is a good look, I know. No, I can't even see. Okay. Okay. Okay, who sees UFOs at night? I do, but sometimes I can be standing right next to somebody who does not, and I think that has to do with Well, I think it has to do with blood type sometimes. You know, an Rh negative person can be standing next to an Rh positive person and see a lot of things that the other person doesn't. However, I'm not trying to say that Rh negatives are any better than anyone else or can do something that other people can't. I just think we have to try a lot less harder to see all these things. But I definitely think it has to do with the bloodlines because I'm not super spiritually taught. I do a lot of it just with intuition and what I can hear, and I listen really hard. So I have, you know, the clairsentience where I can hear ringing in my ears, especially when I turn off my cell phone. When I shut it all the way down, I can hear ringing a lot more often. And a lot of the times that's a big sign of clairsentience, where you just have the feeling, or you say, I feel a lot. Stargirl the Practical Witch just put out all her clair videos, clairaudience, clairvoyance, and clairsentience, and I don't think she's put out the last clair yet, but I know she's going to be. Now, she and I communicate through messages, which I'm like so over the moon about, but I really trust her opinion. I think that she's born with an amazing gift, and I don't know if any of you guys watch her either. Okay, Dangerous Eyes, so you're negative too, so we're going to have a lot to talk about on Skype, and I'll resend all that blood information stuff to you that I just sent to everybody else on Skype, okay? Yeah. We should do a collaboration video called Take Us. I don't want to be taken though, Redman. I'll watch the video. You have clairsentience in the form of empathy. Yeah, cool. Empathy is a hard gift, but if you know how to use it, then you can sure have some power to access. Yeah, I love Stargirl. She's amazing. You're just not ready, Jen? Ready for what? Oh, ready for the ship? Yeah. Yeah, so Rendell, I have it in pictures because I already sold the art, so I will share it to you on Skype for sure. Yeah, I sold that Tits and Comics Wolverine piece for $666. Hey Jen, my mom is Rh negative. Done experience with that. Yeah, and I mean, what I'm trying to say is not that people who are Rh positive, any of those 4 blood types, are any less cool or a bit or able. It's just easier for negative people to see these things, almost like the veil is thinner for us or something like that. But the reason why I took the comments down from the Rh negative video was because I had so many people that were mad at me for what I said. But I thought the information was still, I mean, I did hours of research for that video. So I took down comments because I just had so many people saying things that were really hurtful and things like that. Donatello, is that how I pronounce your name? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Okay, so I think I've got them all in except for this one, which is going to be okay. This one formed on its own a long time ago, just out of like little wispy hairs. These two. So you know, you could braid them into one of the other ones or whatever, but I'm probably just going to leave them. So now I'm going to put my hair up so that it doesn't look like this anymore, because this is driving me crazy. It's some like effed up version of Pippi Longstocking or something. Look. It's Pippi Jenn stocking. So basically, looks so weird because I'm only using 3 hair ties. You love it. Of course you do, Tangerine. Pippi Dread stocking. Pippi Dread stocking. Okay, so we're going to take these out, and, you know, hopefully they don't just all come out, because that would be a waste of time. Bye, hun! And we will try and get something awesome going on. but carefully. So it may look a little Medusa-y because, as you can see, there's just like, we had to tie in some weird ones. But here's the thing, you don't want it to pull on your hair. So I can't put this up like this or it's really gonna, like, my mom used to tie up my hair way too tight. That'll stay just like that, so you really gotta make sure you put it the right way. We tied in the wispies, that's what's doing all the pulling. I know, who doesn't love Medusa? I agree. I've loved the story of Medusa since I was a little kid, and that's a scary story, right? A woman with snakes for hair. So really just trying to get these movable and not fall out of their patterns. And then we'll just tie it up into a bun and do some pinning and perhaps some designing. But the true design for this hair will come when we're done, because I haven't found a way to make this look super beautiful before that. When I do, you guys will be the third people to know, because I'll know, and then I'll know, and then you'll know. That's 1, 2, 3. You could do 2 side buns, like some like ultra Leia bun type thing. Hoodoo. What are we talking about? Who do you do? What remind me of the baby? I saw my baby crying hard as baby could cry. What could I do? My baby. Voodoo, hoodoo, do what remind me of the baby? Yeah, there's no witchcraft in movies. Never. Never. Did you laugh, Lily? I think Lily was. I know, David Bowie. Yeah, never, Redman, never. My baby's not going out, my baby blue, nobody knew what kind of magic spell to slime and snip, puppy dog tails, and lightning baby cells. Dance, magic, dance, show magic, put that magic spell on me, slap that baby, make him free. Jump, magic, jump. Yeah, I'll share it for sure, but let's not talk about it. How did David go? Well, this is kind of an interesting story, and this is what I heard, and you guys can correct me if I am wrong. Basically, he was diagnosed with cancer and didn't tell anybody. Instead, he decided to make his last world tour. Now, I didn't see his last world tour, but I did see David Bowie 17 times. 17 times. My favorite of all those shows was his reality tour that he did in Seattle in 2001 or 3? Can't remember. But, that night was so cool because when he went to sing China Girl, you know, the song started, and he was dancing, and he's such a good dancer, you guys. If you've not seen him dance, he's such a good dancer. And he talks to you in between certain songs, and like you feel like you get to know him. This wasn't just one show. Like I've seen 13 shows, but in the middle of China Girl, like in the beginning, kind of. He messed up the words, and then he stopped the band. He's like, stop, 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 stop. And it was weird. And then he started laughing, and he's like, for a minute there, I thought I knew the song in Chinese, but I don't. Let's start that again. So he just was getting, like, he was getting up there in his years, you know, and that was back in 2003, and he just, like, forgot the words or fell off track or something, but he just wouldn't have it. Like, he had to restart it. It was so, so good. And in one other show, I saw him restart a song, but it wasn't China Girl. I just feel like that's something maybe he does sometimes. It's cool. But he got diagnosed with cancer, didn't tell anyone, went and did this world tour, because I don't think he wanted anyone to know, like, while he was doing this tour. Did his final tour. Right now, this is all held up by 2 of those big bobby pins. That's it. 2 of those giant bobby pins. And I'll put more, but this whole thing is held up right now by that. No ties or anything. What are you laughing at? So, then watch the music video that he did. The last music video that he did is so trippy. And it's about him going back into space and, like, thank you, Donatello, I appreciate it. So yeah, this whole thing is just held up by 2 bobby pins. 2 of those big bobby pins. You saw David Bowie Glass Spider tour and Golden Years tour and you were in love with him, still are. I'm in love with him too, and I think he's like you, Tangerine. I don't think he's from Earth, you know. I think that he came here for a short time for a reason and touched so many people, and that's such a beautiful thing. He was actually well into the occult. Yeah, I know. I didn't want to get too far into conspiracies. Thomas, if you do, though, please talk all about David Bowie and the occult. I would love that. The one where he looks like he's from Coraline? I don't know, but his very last video, he had those Starman pants on, remember? And he looked like the Doppler effect kind of thing. There's so much symbology, so maybe watch that. I'll send you guys on Skype that David Bowie video. I'll send that, and then I'll send an occult symbolism video with it, because one that will explain all of the symbolism through his final video. Because if you are able to understand what he's saying there, you could probably understand David Bowie a lot better. And I'm still trying to decode what he's saying, so I don't fully understand. Tan says, yes, one of his last videos, it's a strange, beautiful mess of all of his emotions. You need to find a few things again about him, but he puts references in most of his songs. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, we'll just do a tiny bit of makeup, and then we've done a dread tutorial, and then we'll, restart a new live, and we'll do some reading hoodoo in bed or something, you guys. Something. Oh, Alex, or Lily, what time is your dad coming to get you, darling? He said he'd come. I talked to him. Because Alex isn't here to take you to lessons. So if you wanted to set this so that the wispies stayed and they wouldn't go away, again, you can just put some Celtic sea salt into some water and spray it and use it in place of hairspray. I have a really cool, Dangerous says, I have a really cool story about how I discovered I was psychic. It happened at the beginning of my awakening, and he had the most vivid dream that make you want to open your eyes about it. Hoodoo. I'm trying to learn hoodoo. Absolutely. Yeah. So, Donatello, I like to, when I do lives, and I'm trying to make the lives in sections. So this one is going to be a dread tutorial and a little makeup, getting ready with Jen. and then I'm going to start a new video right away. So as long as you have rung the bell, you'll get my notifications. If you find me on Skype, you'll get double notifications most of the time. Not all of the time, but a lot of the time before I go live, I send out a Skype notification as well. So I'll just show you on my Samsonite. This very case shows up in the movie, Netflix movie called 1922. And so I don't know if it's from 1922, but if that movie put things in the movie that are correct for the time period, then it is. So we'll see. But it's a pretty cool case. It's got a mirror, and look, there I am. There's Delilah. And it's got lots of different pockets and stuff. Oh, Purple Sky is here. Hi, hon. How are ya? Time travel. Oh, let's talk about the plot of the movie They Live. So, They Live, made by John Carpenter, and I believe it was in 1983, is a movie, and the main star is Rowdy Piper. I put on Burt's Bees first so that when I put foundation on, it doesn't stick to my lips. They Live by, I am correct about what? 1983. They Live, John Carpenter. Rowdy Piper is the star. It is about a man who is like a wanderer. Good tip, thanks. I realized that after a long time of going, why can't I get this off my lips? They Live. Okay. They call it a fictional movie, but it is a documentary. And a lot of people say it's one of the truest documentaries out there. Now, I'm going to tell you the plot, and then I want you guys to watch the movie, because Heather did the research, and you can watch it on YouTube for $3.99. And I know you can purchase it on Amazon Video. When Jen gets serious, okay, you guys, that's the difference. Oh wait, where's my serious? Where's my glasses? I lost my glasses again. Okay, so John Carpenter. John Carpenter also did the Halloween movies. John Carpenter did a lot of movies. So it's interesting that this one falls somewhere in between everything else. It is an intense movie. And let me tell you what it's about. Okay, so wandering man, John Carpenter. He's just a drifter. Drifter is someone who just has no place to live, has a backpack and a sleeping bag, goes from town to town and works wherever they need to because they don't really have like a wife or a family or whatever. So, he drifts into this big town. Is it Los Angeles? I don't remember. It's either Los Angeles or like New York or something, but I think it's California. He drifts into this big town. He starts working at this construction site because he's a construction worker. So, he also starts kind of like living on the site because he doesn't have anywhere to live. And then I think he gets in trouble for that. So then he ends up going to, this is some Kat Von D, Light 45. He ends up going to this place across the street where they like burn trash cans, and it's trying to make it look like where homeless people are and hang out or whatever. And so he goes over there and he's like, you know, feeling out the people, kicking it. But now I can't remember details, but he gets some kind of like intuition or like wild hair up his behind about digging into like what's really going on, you know? Like nothing really seems to be exactly right and nothing is fully making sense in his head, and he seems to be a pretty smart guy, you know? So anyway, I can't remember why, but he decides to go, oh right, there's this house across the street where like government agents go into, and it seems kind of like curious because he's across the street staying with the homeless people from the construction site. And this just looks curiouser and curiouser. curiouser and curiouser. So he decides to, and I might not be exactly right. I've only seen this movie like 3 times, and that's a low amount of times for me to see a movie. But the movie gives me a severe headache, and I think that there's something to be said about that as well. That's why I've only seen it 3 times, is because every time I watch it, and I have to watch it in parts, it gives me a severe headache. That could have to do with my bloodline as well. I really don't know, but I did think it was worth mentioning. Okay, so he goes into the house across the street, and it's worthy to note that he does find a buddy in this, and he's got this gentleman that's his buddy, and he keeps helping him out and stuff. So anyway, he goes across the street and he's snooping in this house where a bunch of government agents are in and out, and it looks super suspicious and curious and stuff. Highly suspect. He goes over there and he finds stuff that's unexplainable, like computers, and why the heck are they like monitoring all this stuff, and it's really, really weird. And then he finds this case of sunglasses. And somebody starts to come in, so he grabs a pair of sunglasses and he runs, or something like that. Okay. So later, he goes outside and he puts the sunglasses on. Yes, we're talking about the movie They Live with Roddy Piper and Keith David. Thanks, that's the other guy. And it's by John Carpenter, I believe 1983. Some of the smartest mind in the world call it a documentary, but technically it's labeled as a fiction movie. Okay, so back in the story. So he puts on these sunglasses and starts to look around. And the TVs, instead of having commercials for Apple Jacks, it says consume. And the billboards, instead of a couple kissing, it says reproduce. And then all the other signs say obey, 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 and all these words. But that's when the glasses are off. When he puts the glasses on, he can actually see the words. Obey, reproduce, consume. What this is a good representation of is actual reality, subliminals. The veil. Those glasses he put on somehow took away the veil. Now, not only does he see signage that says, and if you see a thing for this movie, it'll say obey, like that's this. Not only the signage and the television was messed up, but also certain people, when he had the glasses on, looked like aliens, but in suits, like green aliens, messed up, contorted faces, all that. And then when he'd lift the glasses, they were normal people reading the newspaper, looking at him going, what? I would like to know if anybody else gets severe headaches when they watch this movie, and B, or any kind of headache or weird ringing in their ears. This movie, Randall says the movie explains how the masses are introduced through subliminal messages. Right. Thank you for saying that in a way that was better than the way that I said it. I really do appreciate that. So, this movie is for everyone to watch. And let's say you don't believe in aliens, that doesn't matter. Look at these figures as our leaders, You don't have to look at them as aliens. You can look at it however you want to. You can make it a metaphor. You can think of it as fiction, and it's still a good movie. But you guys should definitely check it out, and I will send links to it through Skype. For those of you who aren't on Skype with me, make sure that you get there. I'm using a translucent locket powder. So yes, and of course I'm not going to spoil the whole movie for you, but that's the plot, and it's greatly fantastic, but I am really curious to know if it gives anybody else headaches when they watch it. Oh good! Tangerine's going to go watch it right now. Awesome, I'll talk to you soon, Tangerine. I cannot wait to see what she thinks of it, because she's one of the most special people in my life. Yeah, and Dangerous, you will too. Cool. And then Thomas says, and music now, the video award ceremonies, they do occult shows. Those are rituals. Every single time there's a Grammy Awards, singing at a football game or the Super Bowl, those are rituals. They're put on certain dates for a reason. It's very, I mean, I could certainly turn this into a whole chat about conspiracy theory, but I tend to lose subscribers that way, so I'm not going to do that. But I know that a lot of you, because I just think a lot of people hear the word conspiracy and they're like, click. That's fine, but I think to me, I'd rather know. Even if it's baloney, I'd rather know than not know. But not all people want to know. Okay, everyone, who here knows the War of the Worlds movie was made? Why it was made? Ooh, I would love for you to tell us, Randall. I have not seen War of the Worlds. I've heard a lot about it. Tom Cruise and then that young blonde girl, right? So if you could talk about that, I would adore it. Randall. Thomas, they are rituals. The amount of triangles and things in them is truth. Yeah, not just triangles, but you'll see all of our kinds of symbolism all throughout. Look, this is Hollywood, you guys, right here. Do you see? It's everywhere. However, we're practicing it in a light and loving way, and I don't think that's the case for the masses that have lots of money. I think that they're different kinds than we are. Before it was a movie, it was broadcast on a radio back in the day. I did hear about that. I would love to know more about that. Orson Welles did the radio dramatization. Really? That's awesome. Tell me more. Tell me more. Dangerous. I had a friend who believed most celebrity practice magic. Well, now you have two friends. I was going to say that too. We have symbols too. I don't know if I believe all, but do think some use dark magic. No, I'm not saying all. But I'm saying, like, all of those ones that attend those spirit cooking dinners where they eat cakes that are made out of made to look like human bodies that, you know, have their mouths bound up and stuff. Spirit cooking, the people that participate in that, I do believe that they are into a lot of the darker parts of witchcraft and occult. The police and I believe the military had to take the streets to calm the hysteria. The masses get too evil. I am surprised we haven't had another Salem witch trials incident recently in this time period. Randall is ex-military. My husband is, he was a Marine who was injured in Iraq. So Randall, thank you for your service. We really appreciate it. People were evacuating their homes because of the broadcast. That's wild. Did you have to go on any tours, Randall? Or to the Middle East or anything like that? I'm just curious. And of course you don't have to share if you don't want to. I was just curious. We are entering Aquarius, the golden age. No more witch trials. You weren't in long enough? Oh, that's okay. Well, I'm still thankful for your service, no matter how long you were in, hon. I just want to say that. And what branch were you in? My husband was Marine Infantry, and he went in right after 2011. Like, when the Trade Center was hit, my husband was in boot camp. So, he literally, the world was fairly calm at the time, and then he literally got thrown into, as a baby at 17 years old, some of the scariest things we could think of, you know. Oh no. Can never get the sides to match up, but it's okay. It reflects my Gemini twins. They're completely different anyway, so let's just keep them happy and let them do what they will. Do what you will! Alright, let's catch up on this. I love the cat eye look when I draw pictures. You were in the Air Force. That's awesome. I love the cat eye look when I draw pictures of people. I overdo the cat eye look. Could be your obsession with Egypt. I love Egypt too. A lot. We're like modern Babylon. We will experiment with new technology. Sorry, Randall. I'm bad with the branches. You knew what I meant. No more witch trials these days. They're all dead and gone. Yeah, definitely. Thank goodness for that, right? We can practice our love for nature and our love for each other and our love for working with energy without being called satanic witches, which is so far across the board from what we do. For crying out loud. For crying out loud. But, you know, I'm really excited to get together with somebody and possibly do some collabing on children's books for pagan kids. When I did the Dollhouse Madness live tea party, where we make tea out of my cabinet and then we play with dolls and improvise and all of that stuff, it was so fun. We're going to be doing that each week, and we're just like making our own land of make-believe like Mr. Rogers, and I'm completely inspired by Mr. Rogers and his land of make-believe, and I think it's beautiful and great. And he was an adult acting like a kid, which I think that we should all take a little bit of advice from. And he was a veteran with a bunch of tattoos. Did you guys know that? He had 2 sleeves. I almost lost someone dear to you on 9/11. I'm so sorry. The mention of the cats has just reminded you. I woke up from a nap the other day and there was this red misty portal. Hold on. Superimposed on your mind's eye, and this squinting set of cat eyes looking at you. That's so cool. Do you think it was Bastet? Or do you think it was me? You've been reading a book on fairy magic, and if it was a cat or a fairy, I don't know. I'm gonna look in my fairycraft book and see if I can find any cat fairies, because I know you've always kind of been, or fairies have always been kind of drawn to you. Also, Thomas, do you know your blood type? Because I just heard the other day that sometimes people can see fairies and goblins and aliens if they have a negative blood type, like the veil is less, so you guys were able to see them better. But I think it's important to remember that it's between the numbers right now for the percentage of RH negative people in the society today. And let me say this, 3 years ago, it was 12% of people were RH negative. Now it's 8. Where are all the RH negative people going? Do not do ancestry tests, you guys. If you need a Rogam shot, get the information, find out your blood type from however you need to go, maybe old paperwork, like I found out mine from old paperwork, right? Look through all that stuff first before you go sharing your blood type with the United States of America or anywhere else. Because the fact that there's less of us now, it makes sense a little bit, because we can't actually breed with positive people. Like a woman will miscarry before the first trimester because your body treats it as a foreign object and cannibalizes it. Literally, that's what happens. So men that are RH negative will have a very less time having a problem with this than women, from what I've read. However, why is the population of RH negative people, the numbers going down? That makes me nervous. Okay. Bastet and Jenn. Yeah, Thomas, it totally could have been me. saying hello through that smoky red portal. Like I said, when you're in my meditations, I do look at you, but you're always in that mink coat. That one of mine that you liked. You see starseeds' races in their eyes? Whose eyes? The face around it was less clear than the eyes, but it was quite feline and slim, but might have been furless. Like me, was there tattoos instead of fur? I'm kidding. Starseeds is where we are moving to. We will be visited more and more. Okay. I got sick the only time I gave blood. What do you mean you got sick? Like, nauseous? Or you were, like, you actually got a cold, or... So dangerous. Do you know your blood type, though? And you said it was negative, so do you know your blood type and you never have to do it again? That's awesome, if so. You think you're one of the most common sorts? I still see shadow figures everywhere I look, mostly on your peripheral. Rendell, that's happened to me since I was a kid. Now you could have the clairsentience. Shadow figures, or boomen, they fall under the category of clairsentience. That also is ringing in the ears, or saying a lot, I feel. People that are clairvoyant will say, I see a lot. And people who are clairaudient, when they read tarot cards and stuff, they'll say, I hear a lot. Now, this is something that you'll catch yourself saying and then put yourself in a category. It's not like, if I start saying I hear a lot, I'm going to be this. No, it's like trying to figure out what clair you fall into. And my two highest categories are the clairsentient and the clairaudient. Correct, Jen. Rh negative may lose many children because of the blood rejection. So sad. Right. I have one child who you guys met, and she's here. I was able to have that pregnancy because I had a Rogam shot, which tricks my body into not fighting off and cannibalizing the fetus. But I've had 10 or more miscarriages that almost got up to, first term or beyond. Now, generally, right around the 12-week mark is where the blood type forms. Blood types aren't something that happens right away upon the embryo forming. No, blood type happens later. So, as soon as that blood type starts to form, the Rh negative woman will recognize that as a foreign object and cannibalize it. Why aren't we able to mate with each other? Because we're different species, right? I'm not being silly or funny or anything. I'm saying, like, if that's not the answer, then what is? I'd love to know. King Good Lord, what is your first name? What did you want me to call you again? I've forgotten. I'm sorry. Yeah, but Thomas, you saw a fairy goblin. That's pretty amazing, though. And you see orbs and small sheets of pale blue lights. That's awesome. Your daughter is anemic? And so, and that means she has low iron in her blood usually, but if she was Rh negative, she would have low copper in her blood. I have read it as part of the government. Couldn't get out of bed for days. Yeah, see? That's what I mean. You got some of your blood taken, and you couldn't get out of bed for days. I do believe it says a little something dangerous, Eyes Tarot. Yeah, I bet you were so tired. Yep, low iron, dangerous anemia. Couldn't stand without passing out. B negative. See, you You are one of the rarer blood types. So out of the negatives, I have the most common negative. O negative, okay? So that's supposed to be Anunnaki descension. And I'm not going to go more into it than that, but if you guys read books about ancient Lemuria, that's where my O negative blood type came from. Read about Anunnakis in ancient Lemuria, Lumeria. I have a whole book on ancient Lemuria. It's packed up for the move, but when we get to Texas, I sure will open it up and read it. I'm really liking my hair, you guys. It looks really fun. Like, you don't really know what's going on anywhere. It's really fun. I like it. So, ancient Lemuria, and Dangerous Eyes, I'll send you those videos that I sent out 2 days ago about the blood types. Joyce, you're O positive blood type. Nice. Cherry Chapstick, me too. I have to say stop it. You're RH-O negative and Sagittarius. King Goodlord, what was your first name that you wanted me to call you? I forget. And Dangerous, you always say I feel. Yeah, so that I feel is going back to that clairsentience. That feeling that you know things. So your intuition is going to be very, very strong. You should trust that. You must eat more raw meat is the answer. Trust me. Oh, for the anemic thing, I do trust you on that. Yep. Redman has done the Redman has done the research, believe me, you guys. He's been into this as long as me, if not longer. I tend to use more specific terminology, like I sense. Okay. Just catch yourself and see if you say any of the other things. I hear, I feel, I see. Most people don't say I know, but if you do say I know, then that means something else as well. Thanks, Cherry. That was a really kind thing of you to say. I appreciate it. I bet you're so pretty, too. I just can't see you. Yeah, there's Lumeria as well. Your name is Danny. That's right, King Goodlord. Okay, let me try and think of a way to remember Danny. Danny with an I-E is blue. Danny with an I-E is King Godlord. Danny with an I-E is King Godlord. Danny with an I-E is... Hopefully I've got it now. We've done it. Alright, so let's see. Jen, I have read a certain part of the government does experiments on RH-O negatives. Yeah, and I don't want to talk about too much of that on my channel, but you guys can join me on Skype. It's just, I don't want to be a target. So, but yeah, join me on Skype and we can chit-chat all that away. And if you can't eat meat, it makes you sick. There are different ways of getting iron. Dangerous Eyes Tarot. Let me look. I'm going to make a note to look that up for you. If you don't eat meat, how to get iron. Dangerous Eyes Tarot, do you have any cast iron? Do you have any cast iron in your house? Like, is your cauldron cast iron? Or do you have a cast iron pot or a pan? Or do you have a big iron decorative piece or something that's real iron? You can actually lay with that on your stomach, and not only will it help with menstrual cramps and things like that around your menses, but also your body will start to draw energy from that iron and replenish from it. And that's something that we talk about in witchcraft a lot. I have a big iron pan under my bed, a cast iron pan, and it's not for me because my blood type is negative and I resonate with copper. I have copper under my bed as well, but for my husband, who's a positive, that cast iron pan's under there for pain and nightmares. Iron will help keep away nightmares as well, so having a slew of things under your bed can help. But if you can't eat meat and you need iron, I certainly can do some research for you. Because I have loads of books on health and raw foods and veganism and vegetarianism. Danny King Godlord. Got it. Interesting. Meat energizes you. Jen, I have read a certain part of the government does zero. Guys, I'm going to start a new live stream, and I hope that you all join me there. We're going to read from some hoodoo books. We're going to read some hoodoo in bed, and I'm not sure which one we're going to read from, but we will. I don't absorb it, and I've tried shots and vitamins. Bummer. You have one pan? Okay, at least get that near you. You know, don't cook in it. Clean it out, and then just get it near you. But if you cook in it, the energies and probably qualities of it will go into your food. So try cooking in that pan if you want to. That's a good way. Beets, spinach are both iron sources. Thank you, Joyce. And blackstrap molasses. That was one of the excellent ones. And blackstrap molasses actually has loads of micronutrients in there as well. And I believe some precious metals. So blackstrap molasses, really, really good thing to take a teaspoon or a tablespoon of in the morning. Joyce, thank you so much for that suggestion. Yes, yay, hoodoo! Send me what you got and you loved one about this. Great, so Dangerous, if I don't send it to you today, just remind me. Just say, hey Jen, did you remember about that stuff? Because these things float onto my brain and I'll just send it right to you. So everybody, I'm going to shut down for just a minute and then we're going to come back with a new topic. Herbal medicine, homeopathy, herbalism, herbal alchemy, the truth, the way, nature's way, all beauty. So if you guys want to come back and join me for some reading some hoodoo books in bed, we can do that. So yeah, see you back in a minute. So glad that you guys all joined me. Had loads and loads and loads of fun.